Alright, now here's the last round. It actually tells you when you actually come across the last rounds in all the games, so that's pretty actually helpful. So let's check out and see how bad it really gets. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention they actually have toasters that shoot bread at you too, so they got a nice little variety of everything in terms of enemies. And I tell you right now, this is a really good game in the fact that when you beat the level, it's very, very satisfying. And that's a hallmark of a really good game, is that you are very satisfied when you actually beat the game. And it's just the right kind of level to make you want to keep on playing it, because you get really close to the end almost in every single level. Alright, next up, let's try Mall Tow Truck. So basically the premise of this is you gotta like take out her gang members, which are fellow vehicles, and then you can actually take out Tow Truck herself. And how you take them out is you actually hit them, or you can use basically oil or chewing gum and get them. And the helicopter flies by and drops off extra supplies for you. And there's the controls, and I can tell you what, the controls are quite difficult in this game, but let's check it out. Now I found out while playing this game, it's really hard to control the vehicle. I mean, it's just really finicky controls, because you basically have only, like, you know, 2 directions or 3 directions you can get. So you gotta angle to the left, angle to the right, and straight up, and it's just really hard to control. And your speed button is always the up button, so even when you're going sideways, it's like really awkward. I don't know. It's just, it's hard to explain other than if you actually play it yourself. And I always prefer just to go vertical. I mean, it's really hard to play the game any other way. So whenever I get off course, I just make a loop and try to get to the vertical screen again, so I can actually play the game. And here we have the bonus level for this level, and it's actually a really, really easy bonus level. So, I mean, I don't know how you can not get this, personally. And as you can see, that's it, and they give you basically a free life, and they get that little sound bite, Bonkers. It's actually a pretty bad sound bite. I think the Genesis could have done a lot better than that for a soundbite. But speaking of sound, I mean, overall, all of these games have had pretty decent soundtracks. You know, nothing amazing by any means, but pretty good, I'd say. You know, it also helps out the game a lot. You know, having a soundtrack that doesn't completely suck. I mean, if they would have had the same theme song going over and over on a loop, it would have been really bad. But this soundtrack they use for different levels is it's good enough, if not good. So that's what I say about the sound bites. Alright, now let's try the Mr. Big level. Alright, Mr. Big's in a warehouse, and basically there's a bomb that you gotta defuse with your buddy Fall Apart. And of course, Falling Apart's in multiple body parts, and hidden in crates that jump up and down. So you gotta go to the crate, and you gotta open it up with a karate chop. So you can see this is nothing too hard with this first level, but like with all the other games, it's going to get quite intense towards the later levels. And as you can see, you can throw the actual crates, which is what you have to do, because there's going to be enemies later on in the game that you're going to have to try to avoid, and you're going to have to basically throw the crates at the enemies. Then once you get all the body parts, that ends the game, the level itself. I will say this: breaking the crates isn't hard. Throwing the crates, I'm not sure how, because sometimes you want to throw it, but you end up breaking it, and there's not a different button, so I don't know how it's actually done. And that was actually my one problem with this one level. I mean, overall, it'd be kind of an easy level if you just knew how to throw the boxes properly. As you can see, it's one of those shell games, and as you expect, it's a very, very easy shell game. This is extremely easy to get extra life, but it's actually quite necessary. If you want to beat the entire game, you need some extra lives. So let's go ahead and forward to the one of the later levels. Alright, so this is one of the later levels here, and this is not too far actually. I mean, I did not get very far in this type of game. I did not get very far at all actually. Maybe halfway. You guys can see sometimes when you smack a crate that doesn't have anything in it, you will get hit with the enemy. And when an enemy touches you, you lose the part of fall apart. And as you can see, there's I just died. I really do enjoy the actual ending with Bonkers. I'm pretty sure that was his name. I forget, but it's a nice little soundbite for the very end of when you die. It's a little bit different from the other ones. As is many times I want to throw a box, but I end up just breaking it. Instead of throwing, I break them, and I end up dying because of it. It's quite frustrating. Again, it's a small flaw that would make this game otherwise pretty much perfect. It's just, I don't know. They probably need another button to make it throw. Alright, so that's it for Bonkers. We saw the levels, and it's time for the final thoughts and then my verdict. So, we have two levels that are really good. You know, the museum level, and then also the junkyard, where we have to make that wall out of bricks. Those two are really fun games to play. I really did enjoy it, even though we had the minor issues with like the hit detection and the really touchy controls. But even with that, I mean, it's a really good game. And then we got the other two levels, which were not so great. You got the race car, you know, police car level, where it just horrible controls. And then later levels, you just get raped by the AI and the other vehicles. I mean, they just destroy you. And then we got finally the factory with the crates level of Mr. Big. Horrible control, just the fact that you can't, you know, throw when you want to throw a crate, or break a crate when you want to break a crate. So with that in mind, I'm going to have to give the Bonkers for the Sega Genesis a 5 out of 10. I'd recommend it to pick it up if you find it for cheap. Those two levels are definitely fun to play. It gives you a nice little challenge. But the other two levels, not so much. But for some people, they may still enjoy them. You know, they may like that extra challenge even though they have bad controls. So, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next video.